The red lights have turned on. Bet the red light reminds you of your mom's workplace. But let us put that aside and move on. The kid that has created this havoc situation doesn't look like any other kids. He has small horns growing from the side, and not sure if he is alone, because the gunshots can be seen from other rooms too. The kid then walks towards the surveillance wearing his kimono and asks the whereabouts of Asaka. The boy seems pretty chill about the situation there. A door opens and Asaka is seen held as a hostage by a woman who has the same hairstyle as Uchiha Sasuke. The kid cheerfully runs towards Asaka because he finally found her. Apparently, this kid's name is Yogiri Takatu. Asaka seems rather shocked to find Yogiri, but the other short-haired woman points the gun to Asaka's head and warns Yogiri to not move a muscle or else she'll milkshake Asaka's brain. Seeing Asaka bragging about how it is hurting her starts to scare and piss Yogiri at the same time. Plus, the short-haired girl keeps telling Yogiri that she will kill Asaka if he moves. This Sasuke-haired woman is dumb, like currently, she is the only one that is panicking. Yogiri is legit so cooperative kid. But oh well, that doesn't go right, because suddenly some invincible waves start to roam her face and the very next moment, she falls down like her soul left the body. Asaka is so confused at the moment and is trying to digest what just happened. But Yogiri immediately hugs her and asks her to go home with him. Weirdly, this kid seems oddly calm regarding the situation they are in. Suddenly, a glitch in the timeline occurs and we see a random girl waking adult Yogiri up. Even Yogiri is confused because he was with Asaka a moment ago. Can't lie, Yogiri grew up to be a fine boy. He then asks the school-uniformed girl who she is and why she's aggressively trying to wake him up. Thus, the girl introduces herself as Tomochika Danura. This brings Yogiri's memory back. The kid seems to have fallen deep asleep and was dreaming all along, but that is not it. While he was sleeping, a huge ruckus occurred and every single one of the students is now dead on the bus, except these two of course. Turns out a monster has attacked the school bus. Even some kids can still be seen hanging after the monster stabs them in the chest and makes them his ring. Finally, this wakes Yogiri up properly, and like any other curious human, he starts to walk near that thing to find the sort of creature it is. Yogiri grabs a mic and throws it toward that creature's hand, and as it moves back and starts flying, the boy gets the idea that they are against a wyvern, but the bad news is that wyvern is not pissed and starts flying towards him with the intention to burn the whole bus into ashes with its fire breath. Not sure if Tomochika was waiting for this moment her whole life, because of the way she jumps and hangs on to Yogiri after realizing that they are done for. And during this whole process, Chika's balloons touch Yogiri's shoulder, and this warm feeling gives him the will and reasons to live. There we see some sort of spiritual stuff happening. Yogiri closes his eyes and a gate opens that activates some sort of ability on his eyes. Hence, the boy enchants some words, and the next moment we see the dragon lying out cold. Apparently, this is the same thing he used on that short-haired lady before. So my guess is that gate must be the passage of the afterlife, and this kid can steal anyone's soul and send it there. But that doesn't stop Chika from hanging on to him, so bro tells her that it is over now. It confuses the girl because she accepted her fate for a moment and thought she would be joining her classmates. Here, Yogiri starts to act like he also has no idea what just happened. He tells Chika to calm down. Oddly, seeing everyone dead except these two, Yogiri takes out his Nintendo Switch and starts playing games while he asks Chika to tell him from the start about how they end up like this. Seeing his I don't care at all trait pisses her off, and she starts shouting. Let me guess, if shouting won't help, then she will use her tears to get his attention. Several minutes pass by and Yogiri is still defeating a dragon, this time in a video game. Chika starts to get bored, so she suggests to the boy that they should get out of this bus already. But Yogiri is too damn lazy for that. Besides, he knows that there is no guarantee if they will be safe outside. Chika then gently asks Yogiri to at least stop playing games while they are talking. And surprisingly, Yogiri is loyal to the melons he felt. The boy immediately turns the video game off and asks Chika if she is calm now. Now that they both are on the same track, he again asks her to tell him what happened. Well, it appears that these students were on the bus heading to their field trip during the nighttime. And again, due to the glitch in the Matrix, the bus did enter the tunnel during nighttime, but when the tunnel ended, this bus somehow teleported to this place, in the middle of nowhere, and apparently, it is day here. The driver immediately hits the brake while everyone seems rather confused. There, a white-haired girl enters the bus and greets everyone. She is a sage that goes by the name Shien. Shien seems super friendly until the professor interrupts her and asks her what is going on. Without a second thought, Shien blows his head off and tells everyone to solely focus their attention on her. She basically tells everyone that she has no intention of causing harm to anyone directly. However, if they do not listen to her or make her angry, then she can't guarantee anything. Moreover, she flexes her attack power, which is around 530,000. Poor driver didn't do anything. He was just stuttering while staring at Shien, and she ended up blowing his head off too. According to Shien, this world is an isekai to everyone, and it was her doing. She summoned these kids here as prospective sages. Are we really going to ignore the yellow-haired kid who looks exactly like adult Naruto? Shien further explains that this world is ruled by sages, but sometimes it is necessary to replenish their numbers. There, Shien raises her hand like she is about to say Heil. Never mind, after raising her hand, almost every student starts to glow except Chika, and a few other students including Yogiri. Chika starts to get confused that even after being isekai'd, she still isn't the chosen one. It appears that Shien has installed a system that is called Battle Song in all of the students that are glowing. It is a logo image from a license that should be in their field of vision. Chika's good friend Mikochi tells her that she is seeing something written in front of her in a different language that she can't understand. In simple words, she just received the player stats that separate them from NPCs. Mikochi seems to have gained the class of Necromancer. Shien, on the other hand, explains that this system is called a gift in this world, and she hopes everyone makes good use of it and aims to become a sage. But here comes this twist. These students only have a time limit of 1 month. It seems like Chika doesn't value her life. She even saw what Shien did to their professor. Yet she interrupts Shien and informs her that she did not glow, nor is she seeing any logo or stats. So Shien starts to smile and tells her that she must be a bad match for this and wants her to accept this. She is basically calling her trash, who is not worthy of such a gift. Shien then stares Chika cold in the eyes and asks her if she shall turn her into livestock with all of her magic wrung out. Anyways, Shien tells everyone that their first mission is about to begin in 1 hour, so she wishes everyone the best and advises them to try and not get wiped out as she leaves. In this moment, Chika feels so left out and unlucky. Her friend Mikochi then explains the mission. It is about defeating a 1000 level dragon, plus the mission will automatically begin the moment someone leaves the bus. However, if one stays inside the bus, they will be safe since this bus is being protected by a mystical barrier. Fortunately, instead of sitting around while trying to figure their ability out, a guy named Suguru Yazaki takes the lead. He basically tells everyone that they'll end up dead in a couple of minutes if they don't work together. So instead of panicking, they should listen up. Besides, what choice do they have rather than clearing this mission? No, he didn't just stand up and chose to be the leader today. Yazaki actually has the leadership ability in general to rally people towards a single goal. It's just the hairstyles. People with these hairstyles are often the ones leading. Yazaki then asks everyone to write up their status to him, so he would better understand the team they have. And trust me, there's a girl called Yui Otanu who actually is in a cheerleader class. She will basically raise others' abilities with cheers. Imagine Ice King with this ability. And as the gifted people are making a strategy, Chika looks back to see the people who didn't glow. A girl named Shinozaki, a guy named Yuichiro Kiryu, and lastly our hero Yogiri, who was sleeping at that moment. Moreover, Chika reveals that she doesn't have any specific memory of Yogiri aside from sleeping. Moments later, the fellows with special power cut off the muggles and head out. Kiryu also starts walking towards them while Chika stops and tries to wake Yogiri up. There, Shinozaki suggests Chika to leave the guy alone since he isn't serious and join the uninvited group. However, as Kiryu is about to exit the bus, Yazaki stops him and tells him to stay here. Dumb Kiryu immediately starts shouting at Yazaki and taunts him that they think of themselves as big shots after getting selected and are trying to cut them off. So to shut him up, Yazaki flexes his muscles. The guy literally pulls 2 seats that are attached on the bus and tells Kiryu that he is this strong even at level 1. So bringing the muggles along will only be a burden to them. Besides, it's not like he is being mean. The guy explains that having them all stay here is actually a strategy. And to further convince them, Yazaki brings Asuha Koriyama forward, a girl that has the class of beauty coordinator. Basically, she specializes in a skill that targets attractiveness. In simple terms, she can make people draw attention towards a group of people. After she charms everyone, Yazaki shows his real colors, and the boy explains that there is just one dragon in this place, so he plans to use the muggles as decoys so the rest of the students can reach the city safely. Chika can't believe that her classmate with whom she spent years agreed to this. Plus, she is damn sure that her best friend, Maikochi, would never go for this, so Yazaki gives her a reality check by revealing that Maikochi did agree on this. Yazaki then locks the door and walks away, and when things can't get worse, the dragon also pops out and starts flying around the bus. And seeing Shinozaki and Yuichiro dead, we get the idea of how that happened. Back to the present, Yogiri seems really worried, not because of the fact that he is in an isekai world or in danger, but because now he has no idea how to charge his gaming device in this world. I just love it when the overpowered protagonist worries about these things. Anyways, he gets a bit serious and states that if they are to believe Yazaki, then there is only one dragon. Hence, it means that it is pretty much safe outside. Chika seems pretty frustrated. She asks Yogiri if he is the one who killed the dragon. But the guy changes the topic and explains that since they got isekai'd with everyone on the bus, then it means that in the original world, they must have crashed and died inside that tunnel. The duo then heads outside the bus and starts roaming around. In the wasteland, Yogiri understands the game. He explains that they have three choices. Either they head towards the hill, city, or forest, and looking at the circumstances, the forest doesn't seem like a good idea. While they are deciding this, Chika notices something flying and coming towards them. So Yogiri asks her if it's a dragon, a bird, a plan, or the Powerpuff Girls, but unfortunately, it isn't. Instead, it is their selfish classmates, Higashida, Fukuhara, and Hanakawa. Yogiri is actually impressed by Chika's vision, although he then asks Chika if he should go ahead and kill those filthy snake friends. But as an optimistic woman, she doesn't allow him and tells him that they are their classmates after all. But Yogiri doesn't see them that way, because leaving them behind to die is something a killer would do. I mean, technically one has to have the Yogiri mindset. Anyways, the flying trio then stops by the muggles after seeing the dragon dead. There the D-head Daimon Hanakawa is literally seen getting pissed off because Chika and Yogiri didn't die. Looks like he is a healer who specializes in recovery, and he planned to turn the dead once into a zombie. Next we have Ryosek Higashide, the hero who has the ability to equip all sorts of weapons and can even use basic magic. Lastly, the necromancer Yoshiaki Fukuhara, the guy who turns the disease into zombies and controls them freely. Basically, these three seem irritated by the fact that Chika and Yogiri survived, and still they want to turn Chika into a zombie for some sexual reasons. For no reason at all, Higashida even throws a fireball right next to Chika, so he would scare her. Technically, she is scared, so the trio tells Chika to surrender herself to them so they would finally fulfill their wild fantasies about her. Hence, seeing the green signal, our boy Yogiri points his finger at Higashida and tells him to die. At first, the other two start laughing, but when they see their mate falling on the floor, they start freaking out. Yogiri then tells the other two to not move a muscle or else they'll be meeting Higashida, but Fukuhara totally ignores him and starts checking up on Higashida. Thus, with Yogiri's command, Fukuhara's soul says adios to his body, and he falls right above his so-called lord, leaving the pig, Daimon, who is about to pee his pants while trying to not move. So Yogiri asks Daimon to check if those guys are actually dead. Thus Daimon uses his healing magic, but that doesn't seem to work. This makes it clear to Chika about how the dragon suddenly fell down. Here, Chika starts complaining to Yogiri for not telling her about his ability before. So the guy low-key compliments her and tells her that Daimon is too dumb to understand. That's why he had to brag about it. It appears that the ability Yogiri possesses is called instant death to any target. I mean, he could have named his ability and everyone would understand it rather than bragging about it. At first, Daimon starts doubting if such an ability even exists. So Yogiri asks him if he wants a demonstration on himself. So the pig tries to act smart. He pretends to become Yogiri's fanboy by coming closer to him while hiding some sort of fireball in his other hand. But our hero is too smart for that and instantly tells him to stop. So to scare him, Yogiri tells Daimon that he also has the ability to sense if someone wants to kill him or not. Plus, there's a possibility that the one with bad intentions towards him might die automatically. This scares the crap out of him and he starts crying and whining about why it is not fair. And upon further investigation, Daimon reveals that this is not their first time coming to this world. Apparently, some time ago, the magician of the kingdom of Aemon summoned them to defeat the demon lord. Yogiri gets the hint that after defeating the demon lord, these three must have returned to their original world. Why is everything so normal in this anime? Like if it was some other anime, people would have freaked out and stuff. Plus, the original world works so slowly that after living in the isekai world for a year, merely some hours pass in the original world. This increases Yogiri's hope of returning back to the original world. Though to avoid future inconvenience, Yogiri points his hand toward Daimon to kill him, but the pig starts begging for his life and even requests Chika for some mercy. But the girl explains that she is thankful to Yogiri for saving her life and virginity. That is why she won't doubt any of his decisions. In this one-sided condition, Daimon legit takes out a device that would make someone his slave. Basically, if you wear this device, the first person you see will become your master and you won't be able to disobey them. So Daimon is down for lifetime slavery rather than being killed, and without a second thought, he wears that device and becomes Chika's slave. It creeps the girl out to see this guy being what we call a simp in this world, so Chika commands Daimon to stay away from her. Though she uses her big brain and commands Daimon to become Yogiri's slave. It may sound disgusting, but Daimon was seriously hoping to become Chika's servant and stay by her side. Can't believe this guy had a reputation when he was isekai'd first, but it is what it is, and Yogiri first makes Daimon happy by telling him that he won't kill him, but then he commands Daimon to stand in that deadly forest full of magical beasts and wait for him there. And that is not it. He even tells the boy to leave everything valuable and without saying a word head towards that forest. Bro, Daimon was legit Bill Gates of this world. The amount of treasure he just left is unbelievable. Yogiri then explains that he can't trust Daimon because he might have betrayed them in the future. That's why he sent him there to die. Chika finds this opportunity perfect to hear some good words about her. So she asks Yogiri what if she suddenly turns against him? Why is he believing in her then? Hence, Yogiri tells her that if that happens, at least he will have himself to blame since he is the one that chose to protect her. It makes Chika blush and she asks Yogiri the reason why he is doing this much for her. And honestly, even Yogiri has no idea about it either, but Chika is not accepting that answer. She starts forcing him to find a reason. After thinking for a moment, Yogiri finds the reason why. He reveals that when the dragons came to attack and she grabbed him, he felt her soft cupcakes. Hearing this quote makes her turn red in anger, and she says the most famous line, all men are the same. On the other hand, we see Shien cuddling with her pillow when she gets interrupted by a handsome man named Yuichi. The guy formally tells the sage that she asked him for a status report, but our horny sage tells him to act informal, besides there is no one here except them. Shien then asks Yuichi how the dragon died, so Prince Charm tells her that their first mission has been cleared, though there were 4 casualties. Yup, including the ones Yogiri killed, but since Shien is bad with faces, she assumes that those 4 must be the ones without any abilities. But when she hears that 2 of those deceased were actually S-rank people, she gets confused, plus Yuichi explains that the cause of their deaths is a mystery. So he doubts that this could be the work of someone with instant death magic, but Shien is confident that the system she installed in them had no such ability in it, so she tells Yuichi to not worry about it because it is probably something else. And when the serious soldier asks her to not take the situation lightly, Shien dismisses him by giving him a free hand to do as he pleases and goes back to sleep. We are right where we left off, and these 2 are lost in this area of the map. They were with their group but got separated a while back, so they are looking for the rest of the group who was rumored to be here in this little town. Tomochika and Takatu are outside the town and have been observing the place for a while now. Tomochika wants to head on right now, but she knows she cannot just go in without any precautions, so they have to look for some bad guys who might be trouble for them later in the town. Why not just go in and observe the place from within quite easily? Takatu is tired as hell and cannot stop yawning, but at the same time, Tomochika is on the lookout for any trouble. Takatu can relax anyway, knowing that the instant death power he has can kill anyone in an instant without causing any injuries. Tomochika feels like they should go in and see Takatu yawning and being sluggish, which makes her a little nervous though. They see some people going into the place and the gates of this kingdom start closing suddenly. It is sunset and normally the gates to a place close not before night, so this is something new. Tomochika asks Takatu if this is exactly what she thinks, to which he tells her that this place might have some weird rules about closing the gates a little earlier than usual. This means they have to hurry, so Tomochika grabs Takatu by hand and drags him to the front gates. As they are about to be fully closed, they stop the guards and tell them that they are here for some people and they might be inside, so they should let them in. The guards respond in some other language which surprises Tomochika, but they sure let them in and tell them to sit here and wait. They wait for a while before a guy from within the royal castle comes out and tells them that he is Masahiko. He looks pretty frustrated already and has been dealing with random people coming in their place for a while now. He wants them to hurry up and tell them what their issue is so he can sort it out pretty fast. Tomochika is relieved to see that there is finally someone who speaks their language and tells them that their group has been traveling with them, but they got separated a while back and they thought they should ask this place if they have seen them. Masahiko knows about them as they came here before leaving for the royal capital, which is not so far from here. This makes Tomochika happy as they finally have a lead on their separated group members. Masahiko tells them that he has been seeing people come into this place free of charge, while this place sure has a fee to come in, but he cannot charge them as he has orders from above to not bother these people. Takatu asks Masahiko if he knows a good and fast way to the royal capital, to which he does not answer. He tells Takatu that he knows he does not have to bother them with anything, but he sure as hell was not ordered to help them out, so he is not going to do that. Takatu takes this as a cue to leave, and he wants to leave right now. They are leaving when Masahiko tells Tomochika that a lady like her and only her is allowed to stay at his place for the night and free of charge. This makes her very nervous and she rejects his offer, grabbing Takatu's hand and taking him out of there. They stop after some time because Takatu is confused about Tomochika dragging him away like that. He wants to know what that was about, but Tomochika has a point. She thought he would get angry and kill Masahiko without a reason. But Takatu refuses to understand this, saying that she sees him as a murderous maniac who kills without a reason. Tomochika wants him to understand that he is exactly what he said he is, but he does not see it. Anyway, they are having this chat when Tomochika notices that the place they are in is exactly like the fantasy city they always dreamed of. All the people are different species, and they cannot help but notice the difference in their ways of living. She shares this when out of nowhere, a cat girl comes up to them and tells them that she is willing to help them no matter what and is free of charge. Takatu is suspicious about it and asks her what benefit is this going to give her. She tells him that having good relations with men is her goal, and she has heard that men can melt for any girl without any prospect. This makes Tomochika feel a little strange about her as she is giving her club ladies vibes. Her name is Mireyu, and she tells her that she sure wants men to be around her, but she would never lay her paws on a man who already has a girlfriend. Tomochika knows she is misunderstanding her and Takatu, so she lets her know that they are not boyfriend and girlfriend, but she is still willing to help them anyway. Takatu wants to see what Tomochika feels like doing. She tells him that she wants to see all the sights before it is dark, so Takatu asks Mireyu if she can be a guide and have them look around the place. She agrees and they start wandering around the city, seeing different sights and enjoying the time basically. Tomochika could not control her inner girl and she shops a lot. She got a lot of things and Takatu cannot understand the urge of girls to shop anywhere they go. They are in the middle of the shopping when Mireyu takes them to a relatively quiet place and she calls some goons she knew to rob Takatu and Tomochika. They surround them right in the middle of the road with all the things Tomochika has for her. Mireyu stands out from this as her part of the job is done, and now the thing that remains is to rob them. Robbers tell them that they have nowhere to go and they should just leave the stuff they have and leave. But Tomochika tells them that they should not mess with Takatu as he has powers that are buffed like crazy. He can do stuff that is not even real and frankly, not even fair. The guys do not listen to her. Takatu at first scolds Tomochika for not seeing through Mireyu's fake personality, but this is not what he should worry about. The robbers tell them that they are nothing but some weak beings in this town who only come here to make themselves victims of street robbers like them. Tomochika once again tells them that they are messing with the wrong people and Takato can kill them before they can count to one. Mireyu wants the robbers to not fall for her bluff as she has seen a lot like them before who turned out to be nothing but weaklings trying to act tough. Takatu had enough of this. He sees that these guys are not believing Tomochika, so he demonstrates his power by deeming the guys behind him dead. They see and the guys behind him are genuinely dead. They died in an instant and this leaves the guys in front in a huge shock. He then tries killing another guy, but this time, he tries killing half of him. It does not work and the guy fully dies. He then tries the right ankle of another guy, which also kills him completely. Another guy gets killed trying to kill his left arm only. Now that I think about it, this sure is the most overpowered ability I can think of. I'm looking at you, writer. Tomochika asks him what the hell he is trying to do. He feels like his ability is too strong, so he is trying to see if he can hold back his powers if he uses them on different parts of the body. Tomochika is shocked seeing that even if he tries holding it back, he still kills them whole. He tries the eyes of the next guy and it works. He falls to the ground, shaking in pain. Mireyu and another guy left are terrified seeing how this guy is killing everyone by just calling them dead. She begs Takatu to spare her as she has 3 younger brothers who are home waiting for her. He tells her that even if that is true, it still does not make robbing and human trafficking justified. She knows, but she still wants him to spare them. Takatu does not want them to run away, but at the same time, his powers make it feel like he is a torture machine torturing others without thinking about it. He makes the gesture which he uses to kill, but it is a fake one. Making it toward them, it does not kill them, which makes them believe that he messed up his powers. Mireyu finds this an opportunity to escape, and she runs far away from him and hides behind a wall. She still can't fathom the power this guy has. It makes him look like a complete monster. Tomochika, in surprise, asks him why he let them go like this, but he did not. We see Mireyu and the other guy dying suddenly. He used his power but showed them that he could not, so they would run away. Anyways, after killing everyone, some soldiers and a captain are standing right behind them. They saw them killing these guys from the beginning and wanted them to explain what really happened. The captain tells them that they should not have killed them. But this makes Tomochika mad as she gets to know that the captain was watching them get robbed like that and did not interfere. She did, but she had a reason for it. She wanted to catch the leader of this group, and this would have been the perfect opportunity for that. They would have caught Takatu and Tomochika and taken them to a location they did not know where they would get sold off. That way it would have been very easy to locate the exact location of their leader. The guy next to the captain tells her that he used his magic on them and he cannot see any signs of the gift in them. Captain was blaming them for the killing of these people, but it looks to them as if they are not the killers. This makes the captain furious. She lets Tomochika and Takatu go. The guy, George, apologizes for dragging them into this like this. Takatu asks him if he can show them a place to live for the night. He shows them this elegant and beautiful hotel. They go there and Tomochika is amazed to see the interior of the hotel. She has never been to a castle, but this place does look like one. Anyway, Takatu is going to see the rooms and ask her if she wants to share the room or not. This took her by surprise and she tells him that she would rather prefer separate rooms. Her hesitant answer does not affect Takatu as he is chill with both. He books 2 rooms next to each other and they go to their rooms. Even the rooms are spacious and huge, which makes Tomochika wonder if this room is actually for only one. She goes and throws herself on this huge bed. Exhaustion after this hectic day requires a good nap, and she is surely going to get that. Anyways, she is chilling on her bed when she starts thinking about what Takatu said about sharing the rooms. She thinks about it and wonders if this is how he feels. If he is genuinely interested in her romantically. Maybe asking for the same room was a test for her and she has failed him, but this is highly unlikely because of one thing. She remembers what Takatu is really interested in, and that is her chest. One time she accidentally bumped into him and her melons rubbed against his body. He told her that her melons were very soft with a surprised face. As she is thinking this, a spirit shows up in front of her, freaking her out. She gets scared badly at first, but looks closely to see a similarity with her sister. The spirit tells her that she is Mokomoko Donora, and she is the wife of the Donora School's founder's son. She is the serpent of the school of Donora, which was responsible for the restoration of its dynasty. She has come here as a spirit to protect her as her guardian angel. Tomochika wants her to slow down and explain to her what she is exactly. All this information being dumped on her is not a good idea. Mokomoko tells her that she is her guardian angel who is going to protect her in difficult and dire situations. This makes Tomochika mad as she asks her why the hell she did not show herself earlier. There is a huge reason for that. She tells her that it is because of Takatu and his overpowered ability. She could not have risked showing herself earlier because she might have gotten obliterated by him. This is new, knowing that his powers can also work on spirits like her. She tells Tomochika that it can, and that is the reason she has to explain to him when she meets him tomorrow about her existence. Tomochika understands, but she is still confused about Mokomoko. Mokomoko tells her that she is also the reason that no one can detect the presence of gift in these two, which makes her even more mad. Tomochika wonders what is the reason that she would go and do that. Mokomoko knows things she does not know, and that is why she tells her that it is best for her. She does not have the thing, she does not know anything about in her body. She explains that it comes with benefits, sure, but it also makes you the puppet of the sages, and that is a huge downside. This makes Tomochika wonder if there are others who do not have it installed as well, and maybe they have guardian angels like Mokomoko as well. Mokomoko has no idea, but she knows why she is here. She is here to make sure that Tomochika goes back to the world she is from. Mokomoko lets her know that she is the successor of the school of Dawnora, and she should go to her world to claim it, of course. But Tomochika had already tried that. She cannot go to her world right now as she has no idea how to. Plus, she has been relying on Takatu anyway. Mokomoko in all confidence tells her that she is here to tell her how to go back to her world, and she can now rely on her instead of that killing machine. She calls it the chapter of her life as my guardian angel is so overpowered, and this world is a piece of cake. Even Spirit does not have perfectly landing chips I see. The next day, Tomochika barely slept in a condition. She gets up and gets ready to head out. Going out, Takatu is already up and ready to leave, but first, there is something he must do. We see that the concierge of this hotel, Celestina, has helped Takatu greatly with her classmates and where they could find them. She knows so much about these things, and it is very impressive considering she is a concierge of this hotel and nothing more. Takatu has asked her about different things and now hands her a bag of jewels and gold, telling her to hold on to it. In fact, it would be a whole lot better if she invested it in something. But Tomochika stops Takatu right here, saying that there is only so much she can do as a concierge, and turns out she can do these things as well. The fact that the concierge around this place has a lot of talents is very fascinating to her, but she tells Tomochika that this is a usual sight here. She has also booked train tickets for both of them, so they can head on to the royal capital as well without any issue. After all of that, they catch their train and start heading to the royal capital right away. On the train, Tomochika performs her only task and tells Takatu about Mokomoko. Now they are on the train and Takatu is playing his games while Tomochika and Mokomoko are just looking around. Mokomoko is taking up a lot of space in the cabin, although she really does not. She is a spirit, but still, her visual presence annoys Tomochika a lot. She tells her to go and hover over Takatu instead of her, but Takatu tells Tomochika to take a seat next to her. Tomochika is really getting annoyed by Mokomoko now and asks her if she can vanish and get out of her sight. But it turns out that Mokomoko did not do anything in the first place. She just became visible to Tomochika by accident, and now she cannot undo that. Anyways, Takatu is playing games when Tomochika shares that she finds this place very interesting with all the mages, and this and that. She is speaking when suddenly Takatu jumps on her and protects her from a giant blast hitting their side of the train. On the other hand, Captain Eldgard and George are trying to interrogate the person they found in those dead people Takatu killed. They are trying to get something out of him, but he cannot respond to anything due to his pain. He got blinded by Takatu, which Lane is by the way trying to cure. She does her best to test everything, but nothing works. She grabs and gouges out his one eyeball, regenerating a new one in its place, but even this does not work. She does not have anything else left, so she gets in and bites the guy in his neck. This takes George by surprise, but Eldgard explains that Lane is a vampire and she can do this to make the guy her kin. Doing this grants the person getting bitten with a huge boost in mental and physical power. Lane makes him her kin, but even this does not work. We see the guy getting buffed in real time and breaking the chain keeping him on the table, but no luck here as well. We get back to the train explosion and see a huge chunk of the train is obliterated completely. An announcement can be heard saying that there's a fight going on between Sage and an aggressor nearby, which hints to Takatu that maybe they were not getting targeted. They go to see the fight and they can see the aggressor, which is a huge robotic entity, but the Sage is like a teeny tiny fly in comparison to the robot. Takatu is impressed seeing the aggressor keep up with the Sage, but Tomochika wonders why he has not killed both of them. He feels like they did not hit them intentionally, and that is the reason he should not kill them. Well, this is nothing like him. If I were him, anyone saying no to me would get unalived. She shares that she finds this very not him, but he tells her that it is not okay to punish someone who is not at fault. On the other hand, Lane gets attacked by a Sage as well, but this is very confusing to her. She wonders why he is attacking her as she herself is a Sage. The Sage, Ayn, had enough of this and tells her that someone has to stand up to their tyranny. Saying this, he attacks her upfront with his best ability, but it barely scratches her. His sword gets taken from him and gets blown to pieces right in front of him. This leaves Ayn in shock as his sword could have never seen that coming. He surrenders, telling her to kill him, but she does not. On the other hand, the fight between the Sage Santaro and the aggressor is over. Takatu tells him to be careful next time, hits other people, but it hits him in his ego box. He starts disrespecting Takatu, which forces him to kill Santaro. The aggressor kneels, telling Takatu to spare him, but he asks him if he knows a way to get back to their world. He does not, but he knows the steps they can follow to go anywhere near to their world. Takatu wants him to provide him with everything required for the process, and after that, they will be even. Lane is having a meeting with Shine where Shine tells her to keep an eye on this Takatu guy as he has the power to even kill the sages. Meanwhile, Takatu and Tomochika are roaming around when he shares that they're being friendly with an aggressor might be seen as suspicious, so they have to be careful. Mokomoko shows herself, only to provide Tomochika with a weapon that she had hidden as her underwear for some reason. Couldn't have ended the episode on a much weirder thing. Our main characters are heading through the forest toward the city of Hanabusa, where their friends are supposed to be. Celestina helped Takatu and Tomochika a lot in the last episode, and she was the one who told them the whereabouts of their friends. They have been separated for a while now, and because of their search, these two have put themselves in a lot of trouble. So Celestina thought of helping them and got them train tickets to the city of Hanabusa, but the train got blown up on the way. Because of that, Takatu and Tomochika had to walk all the way from there to the city. On the way, Mokomoko helped Tomochika acquire a sword weapon and other stuff as well. Now that the journey is almost in the end, they are excited and finally, they reach the city. They are on the outskirts of the city, and Tomochika can see the whole city from this hill. Takatu, on the other hand, looks very tired, and seeing him being sluggish, she asks him if he is alright. He is alright, but he sure as hell is exhausted from all the walking they did to come here. Tomochika says that he has to hone his skill and make sure that he has it under control by the time they face some more enemies. His killing everyone he meets and not giving them a chance even to clear up their side is not fair and wrong. The thing is, Takatu knows this, but he cannot control it. The power he got is surely strong and very useful, but it is as dangerous as useful. He kills anyone who annoys him or even pisses a little. Takatu tells her that he also wants to get it under control by the next enemy, but he cannot get enough time to practice it. He lets Tomochika know that there were some goons and robbers following them for quite a while, but he did not do anything before. After some time, he got fed up and killed them. She turns to see that there are a lot of people lying dead behind them, and Tomochika does not even get a whiff about it. This makes his power even more scary, and now it is much more needed that he controls his ability. Tomochika feels like he has to get himself tired because maybe he's getting tired will make his ability less powerful. Maybe doing that makes his ability not even work at times, which would be a huge win for them. This is no use as Takatu explains that he has already tried it. Instead of making his ability weak, getting tired makes him use his power even more because of how sluggish he feels to work on it. Think about having a power so strong that you would need to nerf it just so you can live a normal life. Tomochika gets her answer, but they have to go to the city right now. They walk through the streets of the city, and Tomochika loves it. She finds this place exactly as the city of Japan, which is very close to her. They walk and walk, finding the best place for them to stay. Mokomoko also shows herself, and she is excited to be living with these two as well. They wander around for a bit before they find a good hotel for themselves. Takatu takes a look at the map, and he knows this is exactly the place Celestine wanted them to go to. This is going to be the place for them for the next couple of days before they find any clues about their lost classmates. Going into the hotel, they go to the counter, but before reaching it, they bump into one of their old classmates, Tachibana. Tachibana looks like a fairly confident person and he expresses his surprise at seeing these two. Takatu does not really remember him, but Tomochika does. She asks him what the hell he is doing here. Tachibana tells her that he has been living here for a while now and has been really good though. He thought this place would feel like a hole to him, but he fit in nicely. Takatu notices how confident this guy is and maybe he would also need to be put in place, but he ignores it. Tomochika talks to him a little more before a girl comes up and asks Tachibana about who this girl is. He tells her that this is Tomochika, his classmate, and she should not be rude to someone like that. The girl apologizes, and Tachibana apologizes as well for this girl behaving rudely toward her. The way he talks to this girl impresses another girl right next to her, and she expresses how merciful and calm Tachibana is, calling him master. It is clear that he has these girls under him as his servants, but we do not know yet. Tomochika asks him about who these girls are. He explains that these girls are given to him as his bodyguards. Where are all the feminists? Hello, they were his servants, but he had to choose some among them to be his bodyguards. He points toward a lot of them, and we see that in total, it is 5 of them. Rich Mama's boy I see. The first one is Erika, and she is a 5th ranker. She introduces herself and tells Takatu and Tomochika that she does not want to talk to them, but she has to because Tachibana ordered her to. The next one is Stephanie, and she is a 4th ranker. She tells them the same thing, saying that she does not want to talk to them, but she has her orders. The third one is a different one, and her name is Chelsea. She is 3rd ranked. Next is Euphemia, and she is a 2nd ranker, telling them that they are very unsightly and they should disappear from her sight immediately. Last is the captain of these guards, and her name is Riza. She does not want Tomochika to call Tachibana her classmates, as it is not okay to call him something other than master. Each one of them can be a model herself, and here they are, working as bodyguards, except Chelsea. She has to wait a while. Tomochika is pissed off getting these threats and comments made on them, and she wants them to stop it right now. Tachibana hears this and tells the girls to stop talking for a bit. He tells Tomochika that he does not talk rudely to girls, so he never tells them to behave when they do not. Takatu tells Tomochika in the ear that this Tachibana is surely one of their classmates. He can now remember him. The thing that bothers him about this guy is that he is very confident for some reason, and that reason might be the power he has right now. They have to find out what kind of power he has acquired, otherwise it would be pretty bad for him. Why him? Because Takatu can misjudge him and kill him without taking another breath. Talk about flexing. This guy has the biggest flex material, yet he is this humble. Tomochika assures him that Tachibana has been like this forever. Being overconfident is like him, and he has been very popular with the girls, which makes him fly even higher in his imagination. Talk about being overconfident. Tachibana extends his hand and tells Tomochika that he feels like their meeting here like this is a thing destined to be, and for that reason, he would love it if she would agree to become his mistress. This shocks everyone except, well, himself. All the girl bodyguards are devastated and jealous hearing this, and Tomochika, on the other hand, has no idea how to feel about this. Seeing her reaction tells Tachibana that maybe him asking her to be a mistress is too hasty, and he should consider other possibilities. He feels like she has this reaction because she is concerned about Takatu and how lonely he would be if Tomochika left him. He tells her that he wants nothing to do with a boy, but if she insists, he can make him his servant and give him work to be busy. Tomochika takes her words back and now has a feeling that there is something else that is making him this overconfident. On the other hand, Takatu would feel offended, but he is just feeling for this guy for being this senseless. He does not have the urge to kill him when he lacks this much sense. He sure can say that again. Tomochika has nothing else but to ask him what it is that makes him this confident in himself. With a cocky look on his face, he tells her that he is the dominator of this place, and so he can take anyone with a lower rank under him as a servant. He feels like he controls everything around here, and she should know it by now. But all Tomochika can think is that she has not seen him look so smug before. She feels like his power is of no use when he does not have the training he needs for this much control. Their other classmates are still training in the forest, and he should too, but Tachibana ignores this. He tells her that she is saying this because she is that much taken in by his charm. He tells him a little about himself. He was at a victory party when he arrived in the town where he was sitting alone drinking when someone came to him. It was Utori, and he came, sitting in front of him, telling him that he would like to give him a little bit of advice. As he is the consultant, his job is to go around and counsel people with problems and push them toward a solution. He tells Tachibana that he is a dominator, and that is why everyone is avoiding him right now. The best thing for him to do is be smart about this and take an approach that is beneficial to him only. The thing is, they have to bring forth a sage from their class, but that is far away for now. They have to survive till that happens, and so Tachibana has to scrape by as well. Utori feels like the best thing he can do right now is go and find some low-level rankers. Once he finds them, he has to take them under him as his servants, and that is going to win him a huge boost. When one of his servants wins the fight, the person they win the battle against also comes under his servitude, thus giving him their experience as well. This way, if he finds a lot of low rankers and makes them his servants, he can grow exponentially without having to put in the hard work for himself. Tachibana gets this and has an understanding of everything, but the thing that is suspicious to him is why Utori is putting so much effort in giving him this advice. Utori knew he was going to be asking this question, and he has a simple answer for this as well. He tells him that it has nothing to do with him, but with Utori himself. This is just another way of him surviving her, and this also gives Tachibana an upper hand, so it is a win-win situation. Tachibana understands this, but there is another thing that does not make sense to him. He knows the powers his ability has, but there was nothing said to him about all that Utori has told him. These specs were not anywhere to be seen. Utori is a consultant, and one of its duties is to also know the hidden specs. That is how Tachibana became the master of these low rankers, and he now wants Tomochika to be his mistress as well. This Utori guy came out of nowhere and started bombing Tachibana with random knowledge. Tomochika tells him that she doesn't want anything to do with him like this, but Tachibana is in no hurry. He wants her to think it through and tell him when she is ready because she will be. This attitude of his is pissing off Tomochika, and saying what he needed to, Tachibana leaves with his servants. They all leave, and Tomochika tells Takatu that she is really pissed off because of Tachibana. Takatu finds him really interesting though and feels like Tomochika should really think about going with him because that might keep her more protected than being with Takatu. Takatu is serious when he says this, so it pisses Tomochika off even more. She tells him that she is getting really angry now, so Takatu apologizes, even though he has no idea why. They go and get to their rooms. We see something dark going through the forest and vaporizing it whole. Yeah, that would be my mind vaporizing my whole extrovert personality. Thank you. It is a giant black aggressor that has gotten into this world, and we see Lane trying to stop him. This is the darkness, and it nullifies everything it touches. Lane tries analyzing just how strong this thing is, and it is nowhere close to her power. She is confident that she can take care of this dark creature herself. We cut to Tomochika looking outside the room because she is bored. Mokomoko is with her, and she tries cheering her up, but it does not work. Meanwhile, Takatu is deeply asleep in his room deeply without a care of the outside world. Tomochika really has nothing to do, and the reason she has been here like this is because they cannot risk going out without Takatu by their side. But he has been sleeping for a while now without any clue when he is going to wake up. She is really frustrated and tells Mokomoko that maybe she can go and wake him up or look after him. Mokomoko is really scared of him and refuses to go into his room because who knows what he will do if he gets scared of her coming in like that. Tomochika is not going to stop here anyway, so she tells Mokomoko that she is going to be looking after Takatu while she goes outside. Tomochika has been training, but now she wants to just breathe in some fresh air and relax. She looks outside the window and suddenly, black smoke starts coming out of the city, which confuses her. She has no idea what this is, but she finds it out soon. We see people normally walking through the city when 3 huge trucks show up without stopping. It is as if they want to run people over, which does not happen as people get to safety in time. The guy in the truck takes the speaker and lets everyone know that they are under Lane and they are here making people zombies for their army. They do it by running people over by these specially made trucks, and whoever gets run over will become a 3rd-grade zombie. He expects people to volunteer in this, but everyone saves themselves, getting in safety. Seeing this disgusts Tomochika, and she expresses her shock, saying that she finds this whole world weird. I would be ordering all kinds of food, getting ready to witness the best entertainment show from the window. This thing is very weird, and how that guy is acting is even weirder. Now Tomochika does not want to go outside. She makes an excuse saying that staying in a lush hotel room on a cozy bed like this is really what she wants. But we see someone invisible coming outside her room, keeping an eye on her. Mokomoko can sense who it is, but she cannot see them. She tells Tomochika that someone is keeping an eye on her from outside the room, so she cannot leave anyway. Tomochika would be freaking out right now, but she is conserved. She wants to know if there is any way they can get out of this. Thinking hard about it, she decides to wake Takatu up by calling him on the side table telephone. She calls and the phone by Takatu starts ringing. He is in deep sleep, and we see him having a dream where he gets woken up by his dog, and he is a child again. He gets up in his house, and who appears to be his mother, calls him to come and eat his breakfast. Before he goes and eats breakfast, he wakes up to Tomochika calling him. Picking up the phone, he tells her that he is on his way to her room. Takatu drags himself out of his room and going out. He notices a weird sensation in the corridor. He can feel someone here but cannot see them. Using his infrared ability, he looks around and sees someone standing right by Tomochika's room. It is Erika, Tachibana's servant, and Takatu kills her without thinking of something else. Knocking on Tomochika's door, Tomochika sees that it is Takatu. Letting him in, she tells him that someone is waiting for her, but he has already taken care of her. He goes to the phone and calls the reception, telling them that there is a woman who passed out right outside their room door. Tomochika is confused and asks him what the hell he did and why he told the receptionist about it. He tells her that a woman was waiting outside her room for her, and he noticed her being in a hostile mindset. She wanted to hurt her, so he just killed her, and it would have been very suspicious if he did not report a dead body he saw outside the room. On the other hand, we see Tachibana noticing that Erika's signal just went blank. This has never happened before, so they have to look for her. All the other servants get really worried about her. Takatu and Tomochika come out, seeing that this woman was with Tachibana before. This means they are fighting that guy. Takatu would have no issue fighting him, but he would like to not kill that guy, so he suggests that they should just leave this place and go somewhere else. They get up to leave when Takatu notices that this situation is not freaking out Tomochika like usual, so upon asking, Tomochika tells him that she is freaking out from inside badly, but she has not gotten used to all of this. Meanwhile, Tachibana is in some kind of labyrinth where he is about to fight a 100 level creature. The creature attacks him, but he blocks it without any effort. He uses his simplest attack to take down the creature, and by taking him down, he gets him under his control. Stephanie uses her healing magic to heal the creature, and it gets up all well. Tachibana wants him to tell him how deep this tunnel goes, and he gets to know that it goes 150 floors down. Now imagine this being in the real world. I bet someone still would have the guts to go down those 150 floors, just so they have some content for their channel. He wants the creature to go and fight anyone that comes in his way, making him Tachibana's servant as well. The creature leaves and Stephanie praises Tachibana's powers. Tachibana, on the other hand, is worried about Erika, so he checks her channel, which is not showing anything. He gets to know that she was attacked from behind, but Euphemia by him finds this very unlikely. She explains that an assassin like Erika would have never been hit by something like that. But Tachibana knows what is done is done. The thing that confuses him is why the hell was Erika in the hotel in the corridor? Euphemia might have an idea, and she asks for permission to make some speculations about this incident. Tachibana allows her, and she explains that Erika might have been outside Tomochika's room because she might have wanted to bring her to Tachibana, or she would have wanted to get rid of Tomochika because she might have found her unworthy being Tachibana's servant. Tachibana had no clue about this, but he knows that if Erika is dead, that means Tomochika has escaped. He would never let her go away like that, so he puts Riza and Chelsea up to the task of bringing Tomochika to Tachibana. The gang is running through the corridor to get out of this god in hellhole when Riza comes in front of them, threatening them. She tells Tomochika that she is here to take her to her master. Saying this, she uses her wand to create an ice wall around them, trapping them in place, but Takatu easily breaks out of this ice. Tomochika thinks the ice is very weak, which is why he easily gets out of it, but it is rock hard. Takatu got out of it by killing the icicle and it worked. Riza is shocked seeing how effortlessly he got out, so she creates another big one above them, but Takatu easily kills the whole block of ice. Hey, can you kill the depressive part of my brain as well, please? After that, he kills the wand in Riza's hand, making her useless. She falls on her knees. Takatu tells her that she just witnessed him killing things just by his thoughts, so if she tried anything else, it would be her next. She has to answer his questions next, otherwise she is a goner. She submits herself to Takatu, and he asks her about where Tachibana is. Next, he wants her to tell her she can use magic without a wand as well. She cannot, and it tells Takatu that she probably has another one hidden somewhere then. She takes out another wand from between her chest, which weirds out Tomochika. She asks her why the hell would she hide it there, and also she points out the way Takatu is staring at her chest. He sure is, but he is rather surprised seeing that she can hide it there as well. Anyways, Riza tells them that they were tasked to bring Tomochika to their master, and saying this, Tomochika notices someone above her. She grabs him and smacks him to the ground with a cool technique. Seeing that it is not a person but a doll confuses them. They look around and they are surrounded by a lot of dolls. It is Chelsea, and she is using her magic to trap them. Riza sees Takatu and Tomochika distracted when she tries using her wand to attack, but Takatu looks at her, making her fall to the ground lifeless. All the dolls attack them at once, but Takatu uses his ability to kill all of them instantly. Chelsea has no way to counter this, and she shares Tachibana's intel with them to make Takatu spare her life. Tachibana notices this and lets the other two know that Riza is dead and Chelsea surrendered. He is shocked to hear that Takatu has an instant death ability, and he asks Euphemia if she knows anything about it. If I were him, I would be so far away from this guy even if I doubt his ability. Not risking here, my brother. She tells him that they do not have to fight this unknown guy with an unknown power. But Tachibana is stubborn and feels like a dominator should not be the one backing off like that. Saying this, we see Takatu and Tomochika on the stairs when they are surrounded by a bunch of cockroaches. It freaks out Tomochika very badly, and even hearing the word cockroach makes her feel disgusted. She wants Takatu to do something about it, but he lets her know that if he kills all of them, they will plop on their heads, and she would not like that. The bugs are not doing anything right now, so Takatu wants her to just walk through this. They walk down the stairs without handling all the bugs, which leads Tachibana to believe that this is their weakness. He makes the bugs swarm them, and the bugs start charging up, which makes Tomochika panic. Takatu tells her that this is bad and that maybe all of them charging up on them at once can kill them. This is very bad, but Takatu has a way out of this. He uses the bugs to locate Tachibana, and he uses their senses to find out his connection to them. Doing this, he can use his ability to attack him all the way from here directly. After finding his location, he deems him dead, and Tachibana dies instantly. The bugs are free now, but Tomochika still hates them. They get out of there while the bugs are still stable, but Stephanie and Euphemia are devastated. Their master just died in front of them, and no matter how much healing magic Stephanie uses, it does not bring him back. She cries on his body while Euphemia is rather relieved that she is finally free. She leaves, saying goodbye to Stephanie. Outside, Lane is fighting the darkness, but she cannot kill it. She can regenerate herself much quicker than the darkness crumbles her, but still, it is no use. There is no apparent weakness of this darkness, and Lane gives up. The darkness moves toward the city, and it just goes past the tunnel Tachibana, and his servants are in. Euphemia comes out of it and is bewildered, seeing the area wiped out of life. It is a flat area now. Lane notices her coming out and wants her to tell her everything. She uses her charm to get Euphemia under control and bites her on the neck, making Euphemia her slave. On the other hand, Takatu and Tomochika come out of the hotel to a city filled with zombies. The guy making everyone zombies announces that the zombie party is just starting and everyone can join to eat anyone they want. We see the whole city turned into a zombie town. Tomochika cannot get how weird and hell-like this place is. They came here thinking it would be a place of their fantasies, but it is a zombie apocalypse instead, calling the gamers from around the world because this is the moment they have been waiting for. The episode starts and we pick up right where we left off in the last episode. The darkness creature is walking toward the city of Hanabusa, but Lane, the vampire sage, is trying everything to control it. She is the most powerful person around, and if anyone can get rid of this darkness, it is her. But the darkness is killing everything that it walks through and leaves nothing but flat ground. Lane tries 1 or 2 times to kill it, but all in vain. The darkness is not going to be stopped. Lane knows this well, and clearly so she changes up her goal now. She leaves the darkness walking as it is to the city, but now she has another person under her who is going to help her with her main goal. Her main goal is to catch Takatu, but he is a very dangerous person to be reckoned with. She is trying to get to know as much as possible about him because he can be bad news for her if he can kill a vampire as well. This is the first time villains are actually really scared of the protagonist because he can kill them in a second. Euphemia is the person under Tachibana, but not anymore. She was under him, but as soon as Takatu unalived him, she was free. She came out of the tunnels and she was spotted by Lane. She decided to get her under herself, and for that, she cuked her blood from her neck, which caused Euphemia to submit herself to Lane. Now Lane is with her and she is telling Euphemia what she is doing here and what she hopes to achieve in the long run. First, there are certain things Lane wants to know, and those are the things only Euphemia is able to know anything about. She tells Euphemia that she is pursuing a guy named Takatu, but she does not know that Euphemia knows him quite well. Lane explains that this guy is a killing machine and he has a power that no one has in the world. He can kill people just by deeming them dead, and that is it. This is the most overpowered ability she has ever seen, but now she wants to take care of it. What she wants from Euphemia is to get any information about Takatu, and especially if he can kill Lane or not. Killing a vampire like her is a very difficult thing to do, but if anyone can do it, it is only Takatu. She wants to pursue him, but she does not want to put herself at risk, knowing that she can be killed just before a second ticks. Euphemia understands and she is off, finding out about Takatu. On the other hand, our main characters Takatu and Tomochika just came out from the building only to witness the whole city turned into zombies. These zombies are wandering around wrecking absolute chaos in the city. Tomochika has never seen this kind of view before and she is utterly scared. She does not want to go out into the city like this, but they have to. Takatu says that maybe leaving as fast as possible is their only option. He takes a closer look at the zombies and he notices that these zombies are slow. They can outrun them quite easily if they do it right. He tells Tomochika that they can run from this place. All they have to do is be a little quiet. I think the faster, uncontrollable running type zombies are the best. These Walking Dead zombies who walk really slow are no fun. Tomochika is very concerned about the city and the people stuck in between these zombies. Takatu tells her that they can do nothing about this rotten city as it is because they have bigger fish to fry. They have to leave now and not be concerned about this doomed city. Tomochika really does not want to leave the city like this, but she has to for her sake. If I was here, I would be out as soon as I can. Let the city rot in hell. They don't care, so they leave and try going out of the city quietly. Meanwhile, Masayuki, the zombie person who turned the people of the city into zombies, is sitting in the mayor's office where he is getting scolded. He does not care what the mayor Ryota thinks of him because he got his orders from Lane. Ryota keeps bashing him, saying who he thinks he is, turning people of the city zombies like he did. He is chill and just sits on the sofa, ignoring everything Ryota is saying. Ryota is losing his mind, but Masayuki tells him to relax as this is only for his sake. How is this benefiting this poor fella? These villains and their logic man. Ryota cannot see this as anything good for himself because this is the opposite of what he needs right now. Seeing people of his city turned into literal zombies is one of the worst things you can do to a mayor, and to anybody really, who would want to live in a city where dinner is human flesh. Anyway, Masayuki is just as chill as he was before, and seeing him like this, Ryota thinks that he has lost his mind because he is an undead as well. Maybe this is why he is doing what he is doing. Masayuki is actually under Lane, the commander of the undead, and this is the task he was given by Lane to complete. He did it exactly as she wanted, but Ryota did not know anything about it. Ryota is shocked to his core when Masayuki tells him that what he did was ordered by the sage Lane herself. This is the thing that tells Ryota to back off and accept what is happening here. Masayuki gets up and tells Ryota that he has to hand over the key to the city to him right now. Ryota really does not want to do that because he has no idea how much Ryota struggled to get here, but his hands are tied. He does as Masayuki says and gives him the city to Hanabusa. We cut to our main characters lurking through the city quietly when suddenly they see all the zombies stopping in their places together. This obviously shocks them, but everything is clear to them when they hear a voice announcing something to the whole city. It is Masayuki, and he first clears up if everyone can hear him in the city. He then introduces himself, saying that he has a job for the non-zombie people to do. There are giant screens everywhere in the city, and he displays pictures of Tomochika and Takatu on the screens. Doing this, he tells the entire city that their job is to find these people. The guy named Takatu and the girl named Tomochika are the people he is trying to find, and they are going to help him. They have to find these people in an hour exactly and bring them to the Central Plaza. They have to do this even if they have to kill them. Alive or dead, it does not matter. All that matters is that he wants these two in the Central Plaza as soon as possible, and an hour is the max time. And if they fail to bring them, the zombies are going to start moving again and cause the chaos they were wreaking upon the city once again. Hearing this absolutely shocks and scares Tomochika, as she knows this is not getting easy for them. Masayuki leaves the people of the city on the note that they have two choices here, to find and bring Tomochika and Takatu to the Central Plaza or become zombies themselves. The choice they are going to be making is clear, and now our main characters are in what some people call pickle. They have to run and hide for as long as possible. Can't this guy go straight through all the zombies now, killing them one by one, taking the opportunity to clear his way? The people of the city start finding them, but they get away in time and hide in the alleyways. Hiding there, Takatu shares that he wants to kill Masayuki clearly, but he cannot do that from here. What Tomochika is concerned about is why the hell are these people finding them? What did they do wrong? The guy with you is the answer. Takatu was about to ask the same question, and the only thing that came to his mind was that it was because he killed the sage without thinking about the consequences. He realizes right now that killing mercilessly without thinking about the other person sure has its drawbacks. Wow, your brain can work finally, but he cannot mourn about it now. He has to think of a way to get out of this situation, and one thing sure comes to his mind. He thinks about it and realizes that they are trying to get to the royal capital, but they cannot leave like this as the train station is sealed. None of the trains can leave the platform, and this is very bad for them. He thinks about it, and he feels like they can go to this Masayuki themselves and negotiate a deal with him so he can let them leave here. Tomochika really thinks he has to think it through, but they cannot sit back and waste time. They have to act. They are chatting and trying to figure out a way to get out of this when some people find them hiding. They are happy that the problem of this apocalypse is found, and now they can save their city. They have big knives in their hands, and seeing that, Takatu gets in front of Tomochika, telling those people to back off. These guys wonder if they can kill them, and they remember that Masayuki does not care if these two are alive or dead. Thinking this, one of the guys charges Takatu with an intention to kill, but he drops dead before he even has a chance to swing the knife. Seeing how easily Takatu killed him, the others ran away in fear. Tomochika is really scared, mostly because Takatu promised to not kill another person without thinking. Takatu tries telling her that he did it because the guy was coming at them to kill them. She does not really care at this point, she just wants to stay alive. So keeping in line with Takatu's plan, they go to the Central Plaza themselves to talk to Masayuki. They reach the Central Plaza and it is not a human place anymore. We see little ghostly figures flying around in pink smoke as this is something straight out of a fictional movie. Tomochika is really scared to see this type of thing. She says the same thing, that this place looks like the most fictional fantasy thing she can think of. They are walking to Masayuki and he is sitting right in the middle with some of his people. He sees these two walking toward them and he stops them to take a closer look. Takatu tells him that he was looking for them right, so they are here. He is Takatu and the girl is Tomochika. Masayuki cannot believe his eyes because he never thought this would happen in a million years. This is actually a savage moment, walking up to the guy yourself who ordered others to bring you. He thinks that these two are really boring because he expected some resistance from them, but they came straight to him without thinking about it. He calls them dumb as well, saying that they cannot get any more dumb. Takatu hears him say these things to them, but he decides to forgive him. He tells Masayuki that he wants to leave the city right now as they are heading toward the royal capital to find their friends. Masayuki is surprised to hear him talk like this without any fear. Takatu adds that Masayuki is going to open up the station so they can leave as soon as possible. Masayuki is bewildered hearing this. He cannot believe that this guy is making requests when he is clearly not in a position to. Takatu knows that he is being instigated because of his powers, but he cannot waste more time here. Masayuki tells Takatu that he is not in any position to be asking for favors. Takatu claps back saying that he is going to let Masayuki live even though he is a total bastard. Hearing this boils Masayuki's brain as he did not expect this from Takatu. He tells Takatu that he is asking to be dead by talking like this. He is mad and tells his underlings to attack and kill off Takatu and Tomochika. They charge at him and Masayuki is pretty confident in them, saying that Takatu cannot kill what is already dead. His underlings are also some undead corpses, and they attack Takatu, thinking they cannot be killed. But Takatu proves them wrong even if they cannot see it by killing them instantly. Masayuki could not believe what just happened. He cannot believe that Takatu's ability even lets him kill something that is already dead. He is freaking out, saying that this is not possible. Takatu knew he could kill them, but even Tomochika is confused. Masayuki keeps repeating the same thing, that he can't kill something that is already dead. Takatu tells him that it does not matter what he thinks is possible and not possible as he knows what is moving is alive, and he can kill anything that is moving. They are dead when they are not moving, and that is true. Masayuki keeps saying that these guys were dead, but how were they when they were moving? Ryota is losing his crap as well, seeing how easily Takatu took down those bad guys. Masayuki yells, asking Lane if she knew about this crap or not, but she cannot hear him obviously. He has no choice but to fight Takatu himself. He transforms, but as he is transforming, Takatu kills him as well. Tomochika hates this because she wants him to transform at least. Takatu had enough of this, and he could not wait to kill the most eager guy, Masayuki. Now that this is done, they think of something and how they are going to get out of here. They walk up to Ryota, and he is sweating in fear, begging Takatu to not kill him. If I was him, I would be playing dead right now. Takatu is not going to as long as he is willing to help him. Ryota tells Takatu that he has nothing to do with this because he is just the lousy mayor of this city. The city runs under Lane's command in reality, and she is the one orchestrating everything. She is the one who wanted Takatu and Tomochika killed, and Masayuki was here to do just that. But he failed badly though. Takatu wants to know if there is any way to get out of this city. Ryota tells them that the barrier around the city is keeping them from leaving, so as long as it is up, they can leave here. Hearing Lane's name confuses these two for obvious reasons. They ask Ryota if this sage he is talking about is somehow Shine, but it is not. He tells them again that it is Lane. Shine was also a sage, but the main command was under Lane. Tomochika explains that they came here to study under the sage Shine, and they were going to become sages themselves, but all of this got in the way. Ryota is cautious and explains that he never comes in between a sage and his students, but he can now. He remembers something and goes to Masayuki's body to get something. He takes out the key he gave Masayuki and uses it. He tries using it anyway, but it does not work. This was their only chance to open up the barrier around the city, but it did not work. He realizes that this is not working because the barrier is directly controlled by Lane herself. She is the one manipulating the barrier and keeping it up. Takatu knows that this is not going to be good, and they now have to think of something else. But they sense something coming their way. It is a huge crowd of some people, and at first, they think these are the zombies, but they are wrong. They see that these are the living citizens coming their way to kill them because Lane ordered them to. Seeing them, Tomochika knows that they have to be careful here as they do not want to kill innocent people. On the other hand, Lane asks Euphemia about her strategy and what she thinks of it. Euphemia tells her that this is not going to be easy as Takatu can kill her easily even from a distance. Lane knows this, and she is doing everything she is doing keeping that in mind. She is trying something that is not going to be giving Takatu any chance of attack. Linking up to Lane is not easy like this as there is no direct involvement from Lane. Takatu on the other hand feels the manipulation and tries linking it to Lane. It does not work as this is not something she is directly involved in. Tomochika wonders if there is any way he can link, but Takatu tells her that there is no direct server as was in the case of Tachibana. Lane is keeping up with her manipulation and asks Euphemia if she has anything to say. Euphemia is worried about her and tells her that she should just leave, keeping all of this away from her as Takatu can come to him any day killing her. Lane confirms if Euphemia is proposing running from this, and she is. Lane tells her that she cannot do this because she has to protect Euphemia as well. Seeing her expression tells Euphemia everything. Normally she would not believe anyone, but Lane's expressions tell her that she is serious. Seeing this, Euphemia thinks she cannot leave Lane as well and decides to stay. She stays and Lane does a trick. Lane makes a copy of herself, and seeing this shocks Euphemia. She asks her what she is doing. Lane explains that this copy of her can be revived even if it is burned to a crisp using her restoration technique. This is the only thing that will keep a distance between Lane and Takatu. Saying this, Lane tells the copy to go up and make more copies. It makes 10-20 copies of herself, and she is ready to roll. On the other hand, Takatu and Tomochika are pinned right in the middle of the central plaza. They are surrounded by the whole city and their citizens. One of the citizens charges them, and there is nothing for Takatu to do but kill. He kills him, and this shocks Ryota. 2 or 3 come for them again, and Takatu kills them as well. Tomochika tells Takatu that he cannot keep killing off these people, but there is no other choices there. He takes a look at Ryota and notices his shocked face. He realizes that seeing normal citizens get killed like this is very hard for him, so he tells Ryota to change his direction and look the other way. Now I am actually starting to feel bad for the mayor. Poor guy is watching people die like flies. Suddenly, Takatu feels an increase in manipulation and sees the darkness coming their way. He knows right away that this is an aggressor. He knows this is the thing that can crumble anything in its way. Even if he did not, it is happening right in front of his eyes. They see this darkness, and Tomochika is very scared. She wants to get away in time before this thing crumbles them as well. Lane on the other hand has all of her copies in front of her. She tells them that they have to be here till they see anything abnormal happening. By abnormal, she means if they see the darkness acting abnormally. The copies do not understand what she means by this. She explains that they have to keep an eye for the darkness, and if it acts like attacking or dying, they have to rush to the city and destroy everything. Back to the main scene, Takatu looks at the darkness, and he just lets it go past them. The darkness goes past them when he realizes that he cannot let this thing destroy the whole city. Tomochika asks him if he can do anything about this darkness as well. She is shocked when she gets to know that he can. He does it and kills the darkness, but it does not die a normal death. It does something weird, and the whole city starts exploding from something raining from the sky. These attacks nearly got our main characters, but they are safe. Tomochika has no idea what just happened, and she asks Takatu about it. He has no idea as well as he felt something weird. He knows that those blasts were not from the darkness as he had already killed it. Those were something done from outside, and as he is telling this, it happens again. This time, Tomochika looks closely and finds out that these are not normal blasts, but some women in red dresses raining from the sky. Ryota asks if she sees a red dress. It is Lane. This is what Takatu was feeling, and now he knows. What confuses Tomochika is why all of these women Lane. Ryota explains that Lane has a regenerative ability which lets her make a lot of copies of herself at the same time. This is probably her trying to destroy the city, seeing how badly it is wounded. Ryota has a thing they can take help from. He has a bird's view of the city in his pocket with him and takes it out. They start devising a plan to take out Lane. Ryota feels like they cannot take her out as she is an immortal being, but Takatu ignores this. They think their best strategy is to run toward the middle of the city and find something that can help them there. Ryota disappears, and Tomochika and Takatu are left alone. Takatu tells her that she has to stay here as it is going to be dangerous, but she refuses to let him go alone. She asks him if he can take out these copies or not. Takatu can, but the thing is, these copies are not targeting him directly, and so he cannot counterattack fatally. The ability kills only in counterattack. This is very bad as they have to get out of this Lane shower pouring right on them. They run toward the middle of the city, and Takatu looks out for a copy to fall right on him so he can take it out. He finds the perfect copy and runs under him with Tomochika and Mokomoko with him. He takes out the copy in time, and Mokomoko saves them from the blast, covering them in a sturdy shield type thing. Mokomoko had this for a long time, and she explains that she found this from an aggressor a while ago. She gives it to Tomochika thinking it will help her in the future. Anyway, Takatu was successful in hitting a bullseye on the copy, and it will do the job. The other copies die with the one Takatu killed, and it is done. Lane cannot believe that her copies were just killed like that. How can an immortal thing die is her question, but before she can have an answer for this, she dies as well. Her body suddenly paralyzes, and she is left wondering how her real body can be killed as well from it. She was thinking of making more different copies so the others could survive if one died, but she did not get the chance. We see another Lane opening her eyes somewhere right when this one dies. We are in a room lit with candles in a very ominous way. There is a coffin right in the middle of the room, and we see a girl waking up in it. This girl is somehow connected to Lane, and we get to know how. She has an ornament in her hand that shines, projecting a video of Lane talking to this girl. Hey girl, can you pass that to me? She tells the girl that her watching this message is an indicator that Lane is dead. Lane is dead, but this girl is now alive. Lane explains to this girl that she is her copy, but also a separate person with no memories of her. This is to protect her from Takatu's ability. We cut to the scene where Ryota is thanking Tomochika for providing help to save the city. She goes to the truck and sees Takatu playing his games. He refuses to drive, so Tomochika has to. In some other place, we see Ryuko, a samurai practicing when after practice, she goes to her tent and finds a girl in there. This is Carol, and she is here to return Ryoko's phone to her. I hate these kinds of friends, always taking your stuff without asking you and getting it back when it breaks. Ryuko wonders when she lost her phone, but she did not. Carol took it and is returning it because the battery is about to die. Ryuko demands to know why she took her phone. It was because she wanted to see if the Takatu locator tool was working or not. Ryuko is really confused, but Carol explains that she had a full-fledged satellite for Takatu, but that does not work in this world, so she had to check her phone. Ryuko turns on her phone only to be shocked, seeing that the first door is about to open. She grabs his hand forcefully and starts shaking it. She tells him that it is the handshake. Asaka teaches him about basic etiquette. Yokari is totally aware of feelings, and he just knows about the devil and other stuff. Asaka teaches him to say, "Nice to meet you," and asks him to repeat after her. It is the first time Yokari is greeted properly. Yokari wakes up to the present time. Tomochika is calling him and trying her best to keep him awake. Yokari sees some beautiful memories of the past. Tomo shows him and says that they are at a dead end. She is panicking and also shocked at the same time because Yokari slept really well on the mountain road. He is exhausted and tells her that he used a lot of his ability in Hanabusa. That's why he is pooped. Tomo doesn't know what she should do because the road is a dead end and they have nowhere to go. Yokari relaxes and closes his eyes. Tomo tells him not to go back to sleep. Moko gets dull and tells Tomo that even the Denor school of driving couldn't compete with things that are crumbling here and there. Tomo is angry and tells Moko that it is the last possible thing she could say at that time. Yokari is confused and asks her about why they have to go to the royal capital in such a hurry. Tomo is angry at Yokari and tells him that he is asking that in such a messy situation because he should have said it before they left. Yokari remembers that his main goal is to get to the capital, and in order for that, it is necessary for him to meet Cyan the Sage. He knows that if they just want to go to another world, they could find a way without going to the capital. Tomo tells him that all their classmates are going to the capital, and Yokari tells her that it might be necessary for them to go back and find another route. Tomo takes the reverse gear and goes behind. She hits the car with something and gets panicked, and when they come out of the car, a dragon is waiting just behind them. Yokari is dull when he sees a dragon. It is so easy for him to kill it, and he speaks the word die to kill it. The dragon instantly dies and falls off the cliff. Tomo panics when she sees a horde of dragons coming toward them. Yokari isn't scared, and he feels like they are really in the enemy's territory. Tomo gets scared and hides behind Yokari. She panics because the dragons are coming toward them with fire. Yokari thinks and commands all the dragons to die. Tomo thinks that it looks like a bug spray commercial because all the dragons lose their life, and they start falling down the hill. Tomo can't handle the immense pressure, and she gets exhausted after she gets shocked a lot suddenly. Yokari knows that if they are seeing so many dragons, it must mean that they are in the dragon's territory, and they have taken the wrong way. Suddenly a big shadow falls upon them, and they see that a golden thunder super rare dragon is headed toward them. Tomo gets nervous and starts biting her nails. She knows that it is a dead set if the dragon lets some lightning loose. Yokari can't feel any hostility from the dragon. He thinks that the dragon might just look scary from the outside. The dragon tells him to pass and slips away. Tomo isn't sure, but she can see that the dragon is leaving without doing anything. Yokari shouts and tells the dragon to wait because he understands him, and he doesn't want to lose him easily. Yokari tells him to wait and threatens him that he will meet the same fate as the other dragons. The dragon stops in midair, and Tomo gets confused because she thought that the dragon could fly without even moving his wings. The dragon transforms into a little girl, and she is shaking nervously in front of them. She regrets it because she didn't slip away quietly. Tomo gets dull and asks them why the dragon just had to turn into a little girl because it was hard to kill her. The girl is cute, and her voice is beautiful. Moko tells them that something like that happens often in the isekai world. Yokari asks the girl why she tried to attack them. The girl is confused and starts playing with her fingers. She tells him that she was trying to test them and see if they were really qualified to meet Swordmaster Sama. Yokari starts wondering, and the girl is shocked that they don't know about Swordmaster Sama. He tells her that they don't have any idea, and they were just trying to get to the capital. The girl gets dull because she misunderstood, and she tells them that the Swordmaster was a gorge. She smiles and tells them that he will bestow them with a gift. Yokari tells her that he isn't interested in it a bit. Tomo asks her if he is serious, and the girl is also surprised because many people want to get to the Swordmaster. They get ready to go back, and the girl lowers her head. She begs them nervously and asks them to please meet their Swordmaster because he asked her to bring promising candidates to him. Yokari isn't interested in it a bit though. The girl gets tense and tells them that the Swordmaster is at odds with the sage. When Yokari hears about the Swordmaster's rival being a sage, he thinks that he might have information about how to get to the other world. Tomo tells him that they can't take a detour because they are already lost on their way. When the girl hears that they lost their way, she tells them that she knows what to do. She has tears in her eyes and tells them that she totally knows where they should go. She offers them that if they meet her Swordmaster, she will bring them to the royal capital and promises to show them her way. The girl introduces herself and tells them that her name is Attila. She is very loud in the car and shows them the way. Attila brings them to the village, and there are a lot of other people. All the people are also sword users, and they are candidates to become the next Swordmaster. The swordsmen are not welcoming to them. Some of them are also angry when they see that people had to get there by car. Attila tells Yokari that they are going to choose the next knight of the Divine King. He asks her if she is trying to drag them into some sort of trouble. A candidate comes near them and tells them that they did a good job by getting there, but they are disqualified. Someone says that they haven't started yet, so there is no disqualification. It is the Swordmaster who says it, and he tells them that if they couldn't reach there, then they would get disqualified eventually. The Swordmaster's name is Irobe. Many people get excited after seeing the Swordmaster. Irobe sees that many people came to participate and tells them that they should start killing each other until he tells them to stop. He tells everyone that if less than half won't leave alive in 10 minutes, he would disqualify everyone. Yokari raises his hand and tells Attila that he doesn't care about getting disqualified and asks if he can leave. The girl gets dull and asks him why he said something like that. Swordmaster Irobe makes another rule and tells everyone that if a single person escapes, then each one of them would fail. Tomo gets dull and everyone starts killing each other. It is like a bath of blood, and Tomo is dodging everyone very nicely. Moko tells Tomo that she got used to situations like that very nicely. Tomo tells her that in a situation like that, she needs to do something more than just appreciating her to not scream her head off. Every fine swordsman is gathered in that group, and all of them are eager to win. Some swordsmen come to kill Yokari, and he thinks that he has no other choice than just to kill all of them. Suddenly, a warrior steps ahead and protects them. The warrior tells them that they don't understand the intention of a warrior, which is why he wants to protect them. Tomo thinks that the warrior is a pretty decent guy, and Moko tells her that he also seems to be a skillful warrior too. Some wizards in the forest are hiding, intending to kill the warrior. Yokari kills them, and the swordsmen are shocked. Tomo tells them about Yokari's power, but the swordsmen think that the Swordmaster is killing the indolent ruffian. The swordsmen ask Yokari and Tomo that they heard about them getting involved mistakenly and tell him that it might be really unfortunate for them. A boy gets half a cup, and he tells Tomo to hand him over the stone which was in her hands. She panics and hesitates at first, but later she gives him the stone. It is the apology stone, and the boy recovers his lower part. His wound heals, and he looks fine. Tomo is surprised and wonders how it could be possible. The Swordmaster tells him to stop talking because they are going to change the location. Tomo doesn't know what is happening, and Attila asks Yokari that she really wants him to participate in the competition. Attila tells him that if he becomes the Knight of the Divine King, she might get a chance finally to become his follower. Attila starts begging him, and Tomo knows that they still haven't gathered any information. Yokari gets bored because it is getting worse and worse for him. He gets exhausted after he kills wizards and many dragons. The warrior apologizes and introduces himself as Rick. Attila and all others are walking in the forest to get to the new destination. Tomo asks him if he is a celebrity who is hiding his identity. The other boy, who was nearly on the verge of death and got saved by the apology stone, says that his name is Lionel. Lionel only came to the competition because a friend of his invited him. Yogiri asks Rick about who a Divine King really is. Rick is surprised that he has no idea and tells him that the Divine King is the one who handles gods who have been sealed away, and they also call them demons. Rick tells him a story in which the Dark King was sealed by the Divine King's own hand. Yogiri gets curious and asks Rick if he is still a threat even if he is sealed away. Rick tells him that the pawns of the Dark King are active behind the scenes in order to revive their master. Tomo asks Lionel about what the stone was which revived him yesterday. Lionel tells her it was an item he received as an apology. The stone could heal him even with serious injuries, and he could try his luck in dangerous situations like that. Tomo says that was why it was called an apology. Lionel says that he always had bad luck and misfortune followed him all the way. The last time he got sacrificed by an evil organization, and at that instant, a goddess appeared and gave him a stone as an apology for his misfortune. Tomo gets confused because the talk was way off topic. She asks Moko if people's fate could be controlled by the gods. Moko tells her that it all depends on the situation because there were also people in the world who were protected by the guardian angel like her. Lionel tells them that he got 3 pulls in a stone, and because he got 10 stones, it means that he could be resurrected 30 times. He throws the stone in the air and exchanges it with Scrub. Rick gets impressed, and Yogiri gets dulled because it was a lame use of the precious stone. Tomo sees his bag and asks him if he only has 3 apology stones left in his bag. Lionel embarrassingly tells them that he gets a new stone depending upon the misfortune he had on the day. Atela sees that there is an illusion in the forest, and they reach their new destination. There's a high tower behind the illusion, and Tomo is surprised because she can't see the end of the tower. Mokomoko is nervous, and she tells Tomo to walk away. She gets scared of the tower because she can sense something dangerous. Tomo asks Mokomoko if something is wrong. Moko nervously asks her if she can't feel the unpleasant miasma in the area. She tells him that something sinister lies in front of them. Lionel feels unpleasant and starts vomiting. Tomo asks him if something is wrong, and she thinks that the miasma got to him too. Tomo can't feel anything. Mokomoko tells her that it is because she is protecting her. Rick gets curious because it doesn't have any effect on him, but Lionel doesn't seem to bear it. Lionel uses his apology stone to get resistance against the miasma, and he gets well. Tomo panics and asks him if it is really that much easy for him. Tomo asks Takatu if he is fine. For a second, he gets startled and then starts smiling. He tells her that he is completely fine. Mokomoko gets curious because the miasma dissipates suddenly. Tomo asks her if she is really telling the truth, and Yogiri notices that Atela isn't there. All of them look around and can't see her. Rick thinks that Atela might have been stopped by a barrier because they hadn't seen her once they got inside the barrier. He tells others that only those people who are going to participate in the next trial will go ahead. Later, they all go inside the tower, and it is really big from inside. There is a lift in the tower, and Tomo thinks that it is surprisingly spacious. The Swordmaster and others are inside the lift, and he tells Yukiri to get inside fast because he might be left behind. They all go inside the elevator, and Tomo thinks that it is a really fancy one. Takatu is glad that there are no stairs, or they might have to walk their way up the tower. They reach the top of the tower after some time. Rick and Lionel are also confused because they don't know which challenge is waiting for them ahead. After they reach the top, the Swordmaster tells everyone to come and take a look down from the tower. All of them see the downside and get shocked because it is the end of the world. Tomo looks inside the end closely, and Takatu asks her if she can see anything. The Swordmaster tells everyone that there is a man in black and a woman in white inside the end of the world. Tomo sees and thinks that they are frozen because the sword of the white woman is straight inside the black man. The Swordmaster tells them that their main goal is to kill the Dark King, and whoever wins will become the Knight of the Divine King. A girl launches her attack from above the roof, and it slows down when it reaches the barrier. The Swordmaster tells her that the external attack might take 1,000 more years to reach the Dark King. He introduces a woman and tells everyone that she will tell them the rules. The competitors are all powerful, and Takatu remembers something about miasma and tells it to Tomo, which leaves her surprised. The girl asks Takatu if he is sure he would be able to defeat his ops with his talents alone, then realizes there is no need to kill them in the first place. She then looks at Takatu to say something, but the dude looks pretty out of it. She notices and asks him what's up with that face. Takatu opens his mouth finally and opens up about the time when Nasana was unbearable but couldn't finish talking about it openly. So he gets closer to the girl's ear and whispers something. Hearing whatever that dude said made her go white, and she was in pure disbelief. They are looking at the purple liquid flowing down the tower, and Takatu says that they must go to the absolute bottom of the tower they are standing on. She agrees, and then Line tells them to wait after the two start walking towards the door. Lynn is stopped by Federica in return, and that woman doesn't look too pleased. Line is surprised to see her there, and she asks him to give her the stone because she is going to recharge her magic. Line tells her that his apology stone will work for him only just in case, but hands her the stone anyway. Federica is ever more mad than before, and she grabs the stone aggressively before throwing it on the ground. Damn, what's with the attitude? She then walks away calling Line an absolute loser, which upsets Line, and the dude is on the ground out of despair. The other guy asks him if they should leave too, and they end up following Takatu. When they enter the tower, they see the dead bodies of multiple guards lying on the ground.